Howdy folks, Doc here with Last Best Tool, and I thought today I would test out a couple of caulking guns. Clear off my workspace here. So what I've got are a Milwaukee one and a Bauer one, and I've got them in here. Gotta love Harbor Freight. It's worth it right there, huh? But anyway, caulking guns are quite inexpensive. In fact, I was looking at the prices here. What does that look like to you? Looks like $1.90 maybe. Here's a more expensive one. This is what these look like. That one, Old Coast to Coast. Right there, that looks like $2.19. Anyway, so the question is, why would you spend, say, $40 on something like this, or even worse, $179 on something like that? Almost $300, I think, if you get one of the M18 versions. But what I'm going to do is just compare them, and I've got two 10-ounce tubes of some adhesive. This construction adhesive. And this is actually the least expensive stuff I could find. And then I've got my two batteries, and I'm going to measure those off of there. So that is hilarious. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is compare these two across mostly their settings. There's lots of videos about the operation of these things. Why do you want one? Well, if you do much caulking, then it really does make a difference. You can often do it way better than you can with a standard click type. Even some, and this is something here, if you look at this here does not have any teeth. These are the two kinds here that actually have basically, yeah, this one's kind of jammed up here. Try this guy. So anyway, what it is there's no gears or anything, or no mechanism that causes it to end up clicking, but it sort of does. You can see there. Anyway, what we're after here is a nice clean bead, but I'm actually going to do more than that. I just want to kind of compare it. So first of all, this is a $39 tool. Takes the Bauer batteries. I've got a Bauer 5 amp hour one here. There is a button back here. This is the release. You push that and it allows the plunger to move back and forth. Now, when it's moving, there is Now, I don't know if you caught all that, but it's actually pretty cool. Let me compare it to the Milwaukee so you can kind of see what the difference is. I'll turn it up a little bit, and I will pull that back. Okay, what's happening and why this is kind of important is because if you've got this on a low setting, and you can see the settings down here, this is on number 1, if you can see that, and you just hit that, there's 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to test all of those. Let's go back to 1. Now what can happen is, when you use it, instead of retaining the pressure on the tube that causes the caulk to continue to squeeze out after you're done, these back up. This is pretty common. A lot of them will back up. But when you back it up and then start again, did you see how fast that moved at the beginning? And then it backs up. In the old days, the previous versions of these things, and in some in the current, like this Milwaukee, what happens is, if I am using it in a slow setting, like this, you see how slow that's going? It would take forever to restart it. So if I was trying to be precise, Well, I can show you what it's like with the Milwaukee. So this is just crawling, then it backs up, and then it's crawling. So let me go to even its slowest. Look at that. I haven't even gotten to where the pressure is back on the tube. See how it backs up? So it takes quite a while to get all the way up to that tube, to the pressure. Anyway, so that's one thing. Anyway, so this is the one we're going to look at. This is the Bauer 20-volt lithium-ion caulk and adhesive gun. Part number on this is 59793. And so as far as I can tell, it is the least expensive one. Ryobi's got a good one. And then, of course, all the main brands have them. But once you use one of these, you never go back. So we're going to compare them by just making a mess out here. What I'm going to do is mark these. I'm just going to make a mark so I cut them at the same point. Now, I'm not going to cut them like I would if I was doing an actual caulk, because that way what I would do is cut them at a certain angle at a certain distance right here. But I'm not going to do that in this case. I'm just going to cut them straight across because I want to have a little bit better comparison. I'm going to go down. I'll go down to this mark right here. So it's right on that line. Do that on both of them here. Whoops, that's a little low. Okay, it's at the top of that mark. Okay, and then to cut them off, all I'm going to do is snip them. Normally I'd use a sharp knife and I would cut from the furthest out point straight down. That gives me the cleanest line, but instead I'm just going to snip them off using my Icon flush cutters, which is what they're really good for, and I can get that as perpendicular as possible. There we go. And where's my mark? There it is. Perpendicular, snip. There. Close enough. Looks good. Good enough for a comparison. So, for the Milwaukee, where they normally have the lock, what you do is push that in, then you can pull this back. Pull the plunger all the way back. Both of these have, there is a foil seal in there, and both of them have a little thing here to pop that. That's what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and kind of mess that one up, and I'm going to go ahead and do the other one here. Okay, now we're going to drop those in. Flip that around. You should clean that off, by the way. Otherwise, it will look like this. Okay, so pull them back. We're going to drop this in right there. Push it forward till it seats. Good. And then flip the lever on the Bauer. I'm going to push the button here, pull it back. Whoops, drop that in. Push it forward. Okay. Now I'm going to start out on the lowest setting just to see what happens here. And I'm going to line these two up. The Milwaukee has got these 6 settings. I'm going to put it on setting number 1. This has 5 settings. So here we go. They're both pushed up. We're going to see which one starts first. You know what? This is going to take forever. I'm going to turn it to a higher one. I'm going to go to the highest speed, since that's also a comparison. Let's try that, and then I'll get these rolling. Here we go. All right, now you saw them reset, so now we're going to do it again. Okay, so that's what it looks like. Let's go to a smaller or lower setting. This is 6, I'm going to go half, so that's 3. And this one goes to 5, so I'll go down to 2, since there's no 2.5. All right, let's try this. I'm going to give let me switch these. I'm going to give the Bauer a little head start since the Milwaukee starts pretty fast. Oh, that caught. This is the floppiest little thing. This, I mean, you could almost blow on it. I don't know what's wrong. That to me is a fail for a switch here, because you just touch it and it moves. Pretty bad, I think. And it's locked. Okay, ready? Here we go again. It's locked again. Okay, so that one, this is a Bauer 2 and a Milwaukee 3. Now let's go down one. So now I'm going to do the slowest on the Bauer down here and the slowest on the Milwaukee. Give myself a little bit more room here. All right, here we go. I don't know what's going to happen this slow. Oh, the Bauer switch is stuck again. Okay, here we go. Move this over. Okay, so you saw how long it took the Milwaukee to get going again, and you can see the Milwaukee is definitely putting out a lot less. Try it again. Okay, I'm going to wait till the Milwaukee gets going here. There we go. So this is the least amount, the lowest setting. That Bauer is still a little high. That Milwaukee is a lot easier to use, much less. And then to start them again, that's where that pain comes in of waiting, because Milwaukee takes so long. Anyway, that's the comparison. If you haven't used one, you definitely are missing out if you've got a lot of caulking. Can I recommend the Bauer? Unless you really need a much finer line, you know, the difference between those two, the Bauer works fine. I don't know how long they last. This switch here, this is really unfortunate. That little flicky thing, it just is so irritating. This is nice that they have a dedicated button to release the plunger. And the reason I say that is because if you use a lot of Milwaukee tools, you've already got muscle memory for this button. And this button is a little bit different. It does lock, but you know, you'd be thinking, how do you open this thing? Because that's not where you'd normally put something like that. But anyway, there it is. It's wedged in there pretty good. Both of these, I should point out, you can take apart, so you can access the plunger in order to clean things off. Here's the Bauer. Pop this. Come on, there we go. So you can pop that thing out. It just rolls around a little ring inside there to lock in. So you want to line it up just right for what you're going to do right there. Both have the little clip, or the little pokey thing, and comes with a belt loop. Does not come with a battery, but then at $179, neither does the Milwaukee. Anyway, so there it is. There's a comparison to these two. Let me know your thoughts. And with that, Doc out.